Coach, when your group's in a tougher stretch, how much can you just get back to the little things, the fine details, making smart decisions? How much can that play a role in flipping things around?
I think it was a big portion of our meeting this morning, getting back to the fundamentals, the things that got you in the right position. And I think those are just the small details of the game. The things that don't always show up on the stat sheet is what's very important in moments like these, but also just keeping our energy up, keeping our spirit up, and that these guys are right there understanding the situation we're in, but also knowing that you're slowly going to get guys coming back into the fold, and then we just have to treat that again somewhat like training camp, getting everybody back together.
Now that you had some time to watch the film from the other night, what stood out to you about Franz's performance?
Well, I think he was finding ways to recognize how the defense was playing him. He got to his spots when he needed to, and I thought his conditioning was better than I thought it was going to be. I thought he was comfortable. Obviously, there were some situations that he was in that he hasn't seen in a while, because obviously real games. But I thought he did a very good job registering the things that he needed to within the game.
Jalen's listed as questionable for the first time in I think 10 or 11 games.
Yeah.
Just seeing that label next to him, what does that mean for your group and what can he provide when he does get back?
Well, just having him on the floor again, being able to go through the shoot-around, being able to go through a shooting slot to see how he feels going into tonight, I think it brings the energy. We understand his impact on this team, and how his energy and how how much gravity he has with this group.
You said Jalen went through shoot-around this morning?
He did.
What about Goga?
Goga was not able to go through shoot-around this morning, not through physical contact.
Just looking kind of back again on the game on Thursday.
Yeah.
What was kind of the takeaway overall on kind of maybe what went wrong and what wasn't working in the flow?
Well, ultimately, what I do believe, and we've talked about it a ton, and I think the more we talk about it, the more it makes weight, is the fact that you let your offense dictate a lot of your defense. I think the energy level of whether we're making or missing shots, what took away from what we were doing, because we guarded. I think we guarded it the right way for the majority of the game. I think offensively, when you don't see the ball go through the hole, it can become that was a little frustrating to guys, and we talked about it. We had a great conversation, great film session about that, to understand that shots aren't always going to fall, but are you getting those shots, and are you staying with the confidence level to step into them? And these guys all are. They're going to continue to work. They're going to continue to stick with the process of doing the right thing, the small things, in order to get yourself a chance to be successful.
How's Cole feeling?
Cole's feeling better. He was able to go through shoot-around as well today.
You guys have talked a lot about not wanting to let this stretch linger on into multiple games. How have you seen your group's kind of response to this recent stretch of play as you guys are trying to get bodies back and trying to kind of snap the skin?
Well, just knowing that they've got to have a focus about themselves, understanding the game plan, knowing how we're going into it. And I think that's where you have to focus so much on the process and not always the feelings of things. It stinks to not win games. It stinks to be on a 5-game losing streak. But the other side of it is, are you doing things right in the process, from your preparation, from your rest to your recovery to the game plan? Are you doing all those things right to give yourself a chance every night?
I know Gary's already out tonight, but what was he able to do this morning?
He was able to go through a little bit of the shoot-around, just go through some 5-on-0 stuff. We didn't do any really contact anything today, but he's going to go through another little session now, and then as well as a shooting slot tonight to see how he's pulling up.
He's been questionable a couple of times. How do you handle that as a coach when a guy's questionable out?
You have to you go by basically whatever they're telling you. I think, and some of it is how the young men feel. And we've told this before with Paolo and Franz with the oblique. Those are tricky. With a back, it's tricky. With hamstring, they're tricky. All those parts are difficult to tell. You have to really trust in the players and how their body is responding to what's going on.
It's late January, so I don't know what the focus is, but with the standings being what they are, this is the last game against Detroit.
Yeah.
Do you're kind of working through your own thing as a team right now, but do you emphasize how important a game like tonight is, a game like Monday could be later on down the road?
Yes, and we've talked about that. We've talked about that in games when you play against Utah. You played Miami the first time. You understand, Miami being divisional, Utah being a team that, record-wise, you say it wasn't what they should be, but every team in the NBA is capable. So tonight's one of those nights. These guys are 6th in the standing. We understand how our battles have been against them. They've been physical. They've been tough. Since I've been here, they've been that way. And so I think we have to embrace that. We have to enjoy it. And our guys, I think, will look forward to that. Thank you all. Appreciate it.
See you tonight.
See you guys.
Yes, sir.
It's in the building.
Jalen, first off, how you feeling? How exciting is it to be elevated to questionable and have a potential chance to play tonight?
No, it feels great. It feels good just getting in the rhythm with the guys, running up and down the court, talking through sets, talking about sets. Just kind of being in action, get to celebrate with TDS back here, that handsome man. So really just excited to be, a part of this energy. You can be a part of it while you're not playing, but it's different, than having, your emotions in the game and really going to war with them. So I'm excited.
From your perspective, what has not worked for you guys this past 5 games?
Hey man, we just had to. We got to shift our energy. It's January. It's been great here in the city. None of these things are excuses. They're all just our reality. And that can weigh on a human. And so I think resetting that, finding our purpose again. Attacking these games down the stretch of All-Star break with intent. Instead of getting through nights. Which happens, throughout the NBA season. So really just resetting, re-rocking, finding our energy and, getting back to setting the tone, I think. And no better spot to start that than at home, Saturday night.
Talk to you in Boston a little bit about you using the lessons from the last year's stretch and around this time kind of to fuel your guys' stretch this year. What lessons are you calling upon now as this team's going through the skid?
I think a big thing for me this year has been recognizing flow, recognizing energy, and I think for me, especially as we get P and Franz back, picking up my intensity a bit more, finding spots where I can turn it on and change the energy in the game, change the flow of the game. Just speaking personally, and then as a whole, just continuing to stay together, which we have done, continuing to play with joy, and as we get, rhythm back, routine back, with everybody rocking, those things will become seamless. So really just bringing joy and good energy to the boys as I'm coming back and, letting the rest play out as God intends.
With this kind of injury, obviously it's something pretty core to everything that you do. What was kind of the approach to like kind of dealing with this injury and more kind of the feelings and trying to get yourself kind of back going and protecting yourself for the long run?
It taught me patience for sure. You pray about patience and God gives you an opportunity to practice it, to really work on it. And that's what a lot of it was. It was kind of slow grind. You know what I'm saying? Each day was gradually doing more movements, feeling comfortable doing more things, whether that's ramping up to walking, and then walking normally, starting to move some stuff around, starting to hinge, and then get to the point where, the past couple, been going hard on court, really testing the running, the movement, the bumps, grappling. I got brother Nick in town, so we was at the crib grappling a little bit, just kind of going through some of those things you can't really simulate, just through, a training room, getting the lift in. So, but I feel good, man. Back feels well and in good spirits.
How antsy are you? We know that it takes a lot for you to kind of sit still. Like how antsy are you to be back?
What a great way to describe me. Man, I'm super excited, especially being on the sideline, man, and just seeing how. We're just in a learning stretch right now. We're in a tough stretch of the season, so it did hurt. Seeing the guys go through it and not be able to go out there and contribute not only with words, but with my actions. Kind of let them see the way that I approach the game, and maybe that'll help change some energy. But man, I'm excited to get back. To be honest, it was hurting sitting over there on the bench, and not on the back rocking. I've got some good juice.
You're a guy who brings energy, who feeds off energy. How much have you missed just that big play and then the Kia Center crowd erupting behind something that you're doing?
A ton, man. And being in the arena the other night hurt. You see people getting up and leaving. You can feel the frustration that's in the building, and rightfully so. Those people have the right to feel that way. I think that's one great thing about us is we are so connected with the crowd that we do feel that, we do want to make changes and, we come in and work hard so that, that energy shifts in the building. We can go back to being in the Kia Center, having fun, holding down home, and giving them something to cheer about. So, excited to get back out there, get in front of the fans, really just feel the camaraderie of my brothers, and the true energy while you're out on the court of every fan that's in the building.
So, do you think you can put that?
I'm good, baby. You know me. I ain't gonna lie, I'm rocking.
We've heard from Jamal, Franz, Paolo, all about kind of the experience that you guys have had while being out, maybe drawing some plays, kind of dipping a little bit into the coaching. What is that experience like, and does it give you new appreciation for the expertise at all?
I got a lot of respect for that man over there, and this is I've gone through this, multiple times, and it's nice being able to change my perspective, from being emotionally invested into the game and trying to portray and kind of share with him my side, from being out on the court to now we get to have real conversations watching from the same perspective, so really sharing with him what my mindset is like as I'm seeing things from the side. As he's processing things, I get to kind of learn a bit from him more, on what he's seeing, what his process is, things that he's going through and dealing with throughout a game. So, I've always had a ton of respect for Mose. That's something that I always carry with me. But, I couldn't do his job, just going to be honest. Couldn't do it.
When it happens, do you have your WWE music picked for your intro?
Nah, not on WWE. Mine's more like a UFC walkout. UFC walkout. Thanks, guys. Appreciate y'all.